Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to Broken Sword Shadows of the Templars. I'll let George here do the explanation of what happened last episode, because we're going to click this button and he's going to tell Nico what he's just found out.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
The Hashashin were the assassins, what we call assassins. It's not a, it is a sept, but it's a more of a Oriental thing than anything, really. I think. I may be completely wrong with that. It's going to explain it within this game anyway. So.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
It's weird, but he's talking about the assassins and the Hashashin, and he's not made the connection.
Maybe not.
Oh, I wanted to use that on it. Yeah.
That is not a good idea.
Oh, I just wanted to talk to her about Plaster of Paris. We've already showed her the gem.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Fair enough.
Did I show you this matchbook?
Yeah, we did show it to her.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
And we've asked everything else. I'm not going to go through the manuscript because it takes ages to go through it all.
Which one? Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
We haven't actually seen Andre yet. So let's head back to the museum. Aha, here's Lobino.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobino?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
July was when Yamada and Anto, I think it is? Anto, something like that. When they were murdered in Paris.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man, who sought to join the sect, was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Probably yes.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
So at least now we can steal it and frame it on them.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
So shall we see if he knows, before we go into the manuscript, see if he knows Merlin?
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting. Where did you get it?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment?
It's actually true.
I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
It's cleverly true.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
Take a look at this nose, Lobino.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Georgie, oh dear.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
Maybe not. Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
You should do.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter. I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
I want to talk to him about the Templars before I let him talk about Nico.
How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
I hate the name Georgie, and I'm not even George.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
So now we can talk to him about our girl. I know that George gets very protective about Nico, so I'm playing that now as well.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
We didn't ask her. I didn't expect her to give the address just like that. Oh well.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So, do we go back to Nico's now? Yeah, we do. Is there anywhere else we can go? Ah, yes, Montfaucon, and there is nowhere else here. I thought there may have been somewhere. We can't move this around at all. Let's head up to Montfaucon. Talk to the old
Excuse
major.
me, officer. Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
We have to do something with this guy, but I can't remember what yet.
In French, English, and German it read, in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Ooh, okay, so we have a
I couldn't
manhole
open it with
cover.
my bare hands.
but we can use this.
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away.
Okay, so we have to get rid of him for that. But we can head in.
I didn't have time to see a row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies,
dear.
the flabby flesh of the old
No.
men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies.
Yeah, stay there, please.
Whoa!
Okay, that was him reacting to his own thoughts. Let's head over. This one's highlighted.
A knight there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
We can use it. So
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported.
Let's click once more, see if anything else happens.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with... I could see that what had at first seemed to be a fine engraved chasing on the scroll was actually writing. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Sounds pretty familiar to me. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Well, these ones are highlighted as well, so we can have a look at these.
A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been... On the end of the staff... On the end...
So we can't do anything else with that apart
Per
from
disciplinum meum
look through
lux
this at the moment.
videbus. A bit of a hoping for a big in had been...
So that's that bit. There's nothing else we can do in here for now. I think you have to put the gem on here. And the tripod on the altar. So we can head up this way. Oh, this takes you back into the church. Okay. So we need to get this police officer gone. Usually with these was something when he picks up his glass you can do something else, but let's have a talk to
Hello
him,
again.
go through all the
Hello
options
again, monsieur.
and see if there's anything else we can do.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
We thought we were just offering him cocaine.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no.
Then please put yours away.
He's got a point.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around with...
So either it's glass... I didn't like to think about that. Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd
I wanna
rebuild the
electrocute
Bastille just
somebody.
so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Okay.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be...
There must be something else we need to do here. Like, come back at another time. We've done all we can here. So I think we head back to Nico.
Hello, George. Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Okay, so that's everything we can
I'd
do
better
here.
get back to the quest.
Let's head back to the museum. And talk to Andre again.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
Of course.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They are probably long dead.
So that's everything we can get.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Is there anything else we can do with
Do you know
this?
anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. It is the...
And they ask you to park there?
They asked me to... They asked...
Whereas...
Of course, not...
We've been through all of this.
Do you know
before.
anything?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tribe?
It does?
Yeah.
You don't... No, I owe at least... It was... It
Yeah, we've been up
but
through all of this
Why
before.
don't you...
You... Do you...
And you're... Thanks.
Right. So next... we need to go to police station, talk to Rosso if possible. Let's have a look at the book first of all.
It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant. It was a search warrant for someone named Robert Overman. Not a name that I recognized.
We can use the phones here.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? I see.
Outside, they
Been
stopped.
through this
Could you
as well.
describe...
One, their name...
Bon.
See you later, Sergeant.
See if we can use the phones. Doesn't look like I can actually do anything here. No. Can't use the phones for anything. Rosso's not in, apparently. Can we go anywhere here? Oh, okay. We can go to Villa di Vasconcelos. A few hours later. Yeah, it seems like it's not doing any of the cutscenes on this. Or is it?
Hi. Is this the De Vasconcelos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobbart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the De Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
Why not? She may have done.
Yeah. That's it. The Countess has won the lottery, and I'm here to give her the check.
Marvelous. May I see it?
No. No, I have to deliver it to her in person.
The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
Oh, for crying out loud. Why'd you lead me on, then?
To amuse myself. To make you look a fool. To make you go away.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why? I'll be going for now.
Adios, senor.
I'm no student of architecture, but the little building looked old. I wondered if it was some sort of summer house.
Let's have a look at the summer house. Can try and talk to the Countess in a bit. I just want to have a look around. Aha, Templars seal.
Rats. It's locked. From a distance, I thought it might be a summer house. Close up, I wasn't so sure.
Don't know why he walked all the way over there just to come back. So the animations and pathfinding must be.
The door was a handsome piece of work, in keeping with the ornate.
So we can't have a look at the Templars seal at all. Too early to do anything here. I'm looking for somewhere along here that has a... there we go. A highlighted bit.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
Because I'm thinking we might be able to use this. And that'll make him go away. So then we can go inside. I'm assuming he would have stopped us going in. Well, we know he would have stopped us
My
going
horse
in.
has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my horse never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my horse has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
I'm fine with that. Straight in. Hide
The
behind
armor was
it.
about my size. I had a mental vision of putting it on and clanking off to see the Countess, with the gardener hanging hopelessly on the outside trying to stop me. Apart from being stupid and unworkable, it was a great plan.
I want to hide behind it. I'm assuming that if we go upstairs, he's going to stop us. So if we head down this way instead... Nope. Okay.
Hey, you. I know you are there. All right, you dogs.
Ah, we had to go there first. Okay. Can we actually pick up the tap?
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window, and I didn't. It was a small mirror hanging over the sink. From the scum in the sink, it looked like he shaved there.
No, let's head straight up.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobbart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you'd just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobbart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
Then
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing,
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobbart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for the De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobbart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission.
Right, okay.
Senor Stobbart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me.
Aha, out of a summer house.
Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobbart.
Oh.
Come with me.
Okay, so we're following
senor.
inside.
Yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
Okay. So there's a big candle in the middle. The manuscript. You can close that window.
The
Let's have a look at the
mausoleum
manuscript.
contained 5 tombs for 5 of the Knights Templar,
So the,
man-size in marble.
Sarcophagi. And the manuscript. You pick it up. I want to have a
In
look
front
at
of
it
the
first.
shrine was a lectern with a Bible on it. A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place. Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again. I couldn't climb up there without breaking something.
Yeah, I want to use this to close the window. Well, let's pick this up.
On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern.
There's the chess set.
close up, over a It was too dark. Now what? Feeling like an Hanging from the ceiling, it looked really old and had never been lit.
So let's talk to her.
May I ask you something?
You may ask.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the order. You must be very proud.
Not 5. 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the de Vasconcelos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobbart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern. Purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobbart, you cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? You certainly know your history.
What's your opinion of the Templars,
We'll go
Senor
through the flavor
Stobbart?
text
The
first.
Templars? Well, they seem no worse than a lot of the knightly orders.
You are mistaken. Compared to the simpering politicians of the Hospitallers or the brutish Teutonics, the Knights Templar were the embodiment of chivalry. The filthy, money-grabbing French king and his pet pope did a great wrong. A bane settled upon my family at the whim of that self-seeking tyrant.
It was all a long time ago.
Some things don't die. Injustice is one of them.
So now we can go for the chess pieces.
I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobbart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ends here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set! Now hurry! My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything.
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. The bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again.
And here's the chest set.
Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobbart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobbart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
It fits, Senor Stobbart. It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which holes.
Quickly, he says. Touch any unplaced keys. Okay. Right, okay. Green, white, red, blue. Green, white, red, blue. So we have to click, click. Aha, we have to move them into there. Right. So this one, green, blue, red, black. Green, blue, red, black. The placements on these are a bit weird. There we go. It's a bit awkward to try and pick them up. This one, red, blue, green, black. So pick it up and put it in. Red, black, green, blue. Red, black, green, blue. This one, red, white, blue, green. Red, white, blue, green. Green, white, blue, red. Green, white, blue, red. Blue, white, red, green. Blue, white, red, green. Come on, pick it up. There we go. This one, white, blue, red, green. White, blue, red, green. Come on, pick it up. Thank you. Blue, red, green, black. Blue, red, green, black. That one. And then this one. In here.
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them.
So, I'm assuming we have to place the king in checkmate. So if our king would have to be here. No? Oh, you can just do this as in just kind of going through every square. So let's try and work this out. The king can be here. Yeah. So our king is safe. And then with these ones we need to put them in checkmate. So this would have to be here or here? No. Well, this one should be here. I was going to say either there or there. Ah, yes, this one would have to be here. And that puts him in check, but not in checkmate. So I suppose this one could... no. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go in on any of those. So it's either there or there, it won't go there, so it's definitely here. But it can go there. Aha, right, so that stops him from moving to there. So if now this one is... ah yes, that puts him in check. And then we just need to place this one to be able to put him in mate. Which would be there. So that should be checkmate. No, because he can go there. Ah. Not too sure. Okay, so now that one can go there as well. That's weird. Maybe it's not what I thought. Maybe I have to put white in checkmate. Which is easy. Can this go anywhere though? So I suppose if that is there, he can't move to there, he can't move to there. He can't move to here, so this one going to there. Can't move there, can't move here. Can't move there, can't move there, but I'm in check as well. So this doesn't seem right. Let me have a look at this for a bit, and I will get back to you.
Bingo! I mean, checkmate.
Right, finally. Okay.
Senor Stobbart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobbart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow! Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobbart.
Really,
Sure,
it
I'm
is
sure.
hers. Or it could be trapped.
The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no, the Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice, but there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templar's secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will.
Okay, and that is where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.